Hi, and welcome to Wow Talk. I'm Donna Cappuccitti, a thriving cancer survivor.
And I'm her naturopathic doctor, Darlene Gustin. We're here to encourage, educate, and empower you on your journey to optimum wellness.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi there. I think today what we want to talk about...
Your latte?
Yes, my that is perfect.
My latte.
Our lattes. And dairy intolerance. How about that?
Good topic.
Okay.
So there's a lot of confusion there. Some people have lactose intolerance, but there's other ways you can react to dairy as well that are not lactose based. So those people who take lactate or lactose pills, they are missing an enzyme to break down the sugar in milk that's called lactose. So that's a very focused chemical thing. You're missing the ability to break that down, and then you have the symptoms that go with that, and that's more a genetic thing. And also it could be age related, because as humans we outgrow the ability to digest milk in most cultures. And in Northern Europe they're a little bit more milk tolerant, but generally once we're off breast milk, we're not really made in our physiology to consume milk in the first place.
Because it comes from cows, which cows make milk for baby cows.
And we're not babies anymore, and we're not cows.
Exactly. Exactly. Yet I love cheese. I love ice cream.
Yes.
And I love my lattes.
Definitely.
So, oh my gosh, what do we do? And to be honest, I often wonder if I haven't had an intolerance my whole life and just lived with it because I thought it was normal.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not alone in that thinking.
Right. So if you have low-grade stomach discomfort all the time, to you that's normal because you've never seen the contrast. You've never had like the comfortable digestive system that the rest of us have, so you don't even know what you're missing. Mm-hmm. But it's more so the people who become dairy sensitive. And my first question is, was there ever a time in your life that you did not react to dairy? And if they do remember a time that they did not react, it's most likely fixable.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So adult onset dairy intolerance is often a symptom of parasites.
No.
Yeah. So when you improve your microbiome, there's a huge chance that you can have less or no more intolerance to dairy.
That is very cool. Mm-hmm. Here I'm thinking you just have to have that lactate or lactose-free milk, which I will purchase every now and then just to see if there's a difference. Because I'm not a big milk drinker, but talking about our lattes, coffees, that's when I use it, of course.
Yeah, so that would only work if the problem was lactose, but there are also proteins in the milk that people react to, like the casein in the whey. And a lot of these protein shakes that people drink are made of the whey protein in milk. So, so sometimes I do IgG testing for allergic reactions to these milk proteins.
What is IgG again?
Immunoglobulin G.
Okay. G. And how do you test it?
It's done through a blood test in the private labs, and it measures for food sensitivities to whatever. Usually these labs test 100 to 200 foods, and some of the labs really break down dairy. Is it
good.
The lactose? Is it the casein? Is it the whey? Are you okay with goat milk versus cow's milk? So they'll break it down for you. Mm-hmm. And
don't they say goat's milk is very similar to human milk?
Correct.
More so than cow's milk? Okay.
Correct. Absolutely.
Something to keep in mind.
Correct. It's less allergic, and it's more nutritious and more similar to human milk than cow's milk is.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when someone has dairy intolerance, I will suggest digestive enzymes that cater to dairy. And so it'll break down the lactose and the casein and the whey. So if you're trying the lactate milk or the lactate pills to help you and it's not helping enough, if it's only helping partially, it could be that you're reacting to more than just the lactose milk sugar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And the symptoms, the reactions...
Thank you. I was just about to say, what are the symptoms? You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. So the symptoms usually come on 30 minutes to 2 hours after you've consumed the dairy product. And they could vary from diarrhea to bloating to belly pain to fatigue, mostly digestive symptoms.
Okay. So, and you would find that, yeah, when you have that. I mean, sometimes it's hard to distinguish. You could have other things going on too, and you're not sure, is it just because of the dairy? But would you say it's more pronounced after you have some dairy? And
Right.
that's how you would know that those particular symptoms could and very well be linked to the dairy consumption.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so an allergic reaction is more immediate, but a sensitivity is 30 minutes to 2 hours. It could even be longer than 2 hours
Okay.
after eating the dairy.
All right. So digestive enzymes is what you would do. Could we dig deeper? Is there something else you would do beforehand?
Yeah, sometimes it's enzymes in general that a person needs. So, and like if you're having a piece of pizza, is it the cheese, the bread, the pepperoni that you reacted to? You have to separate it.
That's right. Yeah.
And the opposite is true too, in the sense that sometimes the dairy sensitivity does not have any symptoms.
Oh,
So if someone has digestive problems, skin problems, mood disorder, and I see that they're worth testing on food sensitivities in general as a bigger topic, I might find this massive reactions to dairy, everything, but they're just living in a cloudy, blurry state all the time that they don't feel it. It's not so obvious to them. They're always bloated and have diarrhea every single day anyway. It's not exclusive to the dairy. So sometimes you're just unwell. If it runs in your family and you're not as obvious as your cousin or your sister, it could still be a dairy sensitivity, but it's just there full time.
okay. So let's talk about it as being more than just what it is. It could be a symptom of a bigger problem.
Exactly. It could be a symptom of IgG food sensitivities as the real issue in the person. It could be a symptom of a distorted microbiome where you need a parasite cleanse and some probiotics. And it's the reaction to this topic. It's a little bit of everything. Don't push dairy in the first place. You outgrew it when you were 2 years old. But then if you thought that that was your main source of calcium or protein, then you just have to rebalance the diet, especially to a child, that it's more balanced. You can get protein anywhere else. You can get calcium anywhere else. And the kind of calcium that's in vegetables is more absorbable anyway than the kind of calcium that's in milk. And the truth is that when I measure minerals in people who've been avoiding dairy, I actually hardly ever find them to be deficient in calcium in the first place. So I have a bunch of patients that will bring in their child and they go, we're avoiding dairy because ABC, and we're concerned about this child's nutritional state, especially their calcium. And as long as that child is relatively well fed with lots of variety of protein and fruits and vegetables, they're usually just fine. So that concern about calcium is usually not found to be true.
That is fascinating to me, really.
And if we're talking about an older age group, let's say we're talking about postmenopausal woman who wants to keep her bones strong,
Okay.
all the same things are true again, right? It's and in that case, it's not necessarily how much calcium you consume to benefit your bones. In that case, it's a different environment. It could be more realistically, you don't have enough estrogen or other hormones, and therefore you do not retain the calcium in your bones. So even if you eat dairy foods and calcium foods and supplements, they're in one end, out the other, because you don't retain them. You don't retain calcium if you have certain hormone imbalances, if you are acidic, if you have heavy metals, different medications, lack of vitamin D. So there's a lot of variables that affect whether the calcium stays in the body.
That is major. There's so many layers here.
Yeah.
So many layers. Wow. My mind is blown right now. And that is why it is really important to see a naturopath if you can, because I believe that you will find out a lot more. We're just scratching the surface here with saying, oh, my stomach bloats when I have a glass of milk or eat cheese.
And there are even more layers to this. Like people will ask me, "Oh, is dairy good food?" It's like, it depends how you're asking.
Yeah.
So beyond the topics we've already covered, dairy is also a mucus forming food,
Yes.
right? And it can aggravate people with yeast, and then they'll say, "But is yogurt good?" Well, that's a yes and a no. How are you asking? Are you looking for a food that has probiotics? Well, the yogurt fits the bill. Are you looking for a vegetarian version of increasing your protein? Then yogurt is a good food. Greek yogurt has twice the protein as regular yogurt. So yes, it's good if you're looking for protein. No, it's not good if you are, phlegmy and sinus prone and you have phlegm in your chest and mucusy. So sometimes it's a yes, sometimes it's a no. But definitely I cannot authentically say that high consumption of dairy is healthy food. No, it's used with moderation. Like everything is used with moderation.
Yes.
As I drink my latte today.
Yes, but it's moderate. We do this once a week when we're doing our podcast. So, wow. I have so many more questions. I don't even know where to start now. I just don't. Because, what I want to ask you is, there's been a lot of things trending about drinking. They're calling it raw milk, or is it unpasteurized? Mm-hmm. What's your take on that?
Well, that's a controversial topic because in Canada, they pasteurize the milk that you get in the grocery store, and then they have concerns about the hygiene and the microbes and the risk of infection from having raw milk in the backyard with your pet cow. Yes. So there's pros and cons, right? So these microbes, there are good ones and there are bad ones. There's hygiene. There's how did you collect the milk? How did you store the milk?
All of those. How did you boil? Don't you have to boil the milk?
You have to be informed. Get it from a trusted source, etc.
Yes, that makes total sense. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, yeah, so much. But this is a good topic. I think we could maybe elaborate eventually again about this because, like you said, there's just so many layers. You covered a bunch of things about vitamin D and all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. And I think the big one is retention of the good things that we think we're getting from the milk. And
there's also a very big connection to eczema in the naturopathic profession. So usually the first thing that we ask when someone has eczema and they've had it forever, how much milk do you drink? So it's very common for me to say, okay, well, stop the milk for a week or two, see what happens. That's the shortcut. It's not going to hurt anybody. It saves them time and money with testing. And of course, testing is always the preferred method. And but it's not going to hurt. And then I also always ask a patient, what's your blood type? So the most common answer is that people are blood type O, which is 50% of the population. And the chemistry of people who are blood type O, their blood does not react favorably to wheat and dairy products. And so I'll say, okay, try just stopping it for a while.
Okay.
So dairy consumption is the root cause of potentially many things. Skin conditions, phlegm, low immune, digestive conditions,
exactly. Wondering why your stomach's bloating.
Yeah.
This could be the reason.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's really great. Well, I think we've covered a lot of stuff. If there's anything else you wanted to add, please do.
Lots of food for thought.
Okay, there we go. Well, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please send them our way. You can always direct message us on Facebook and Instagram. And once again, we thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.